Hello guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Miriam and I teach watercolors. So today we are going to paint on something I recently discovered called Yupo paper. And we're also going to use some watercolor brush pens to do the job. If you don't have any brush pens, try and give it a go with some regular watercolors. I think it could work as well. We're going to paint this. I'm really amazed on how beautiful it got painting on this Yupo paper. Really, and the brush pens were just perfect for working on this paper. So I will show you some different techniques you can use painting on this kind of paper and how I blend things and so on. But enough of me talking, let's get started. To begin with, I'm going to test my brush pens and how the colors will mix together. So I do some marks on another piece of Yupo paper. Then I use my water brush, I will call this, and just see how much it can blend out the colors and how the paper reacts to when I put the water brush on to it. And this is the pink and the red brush, I believe. And then I will also try to test out how I can mix colors on the paper, because these are brushes, so you cannot mix them in a watercolor palette, so you have to do it on the paper. And I'm just testing how that's working out. And yeah, I think it's very easy to mix these colors together on the paper. And this is so nice about the Yupo paper, that it's very smooth, so therefore you can work the colors together on the paper. This is quite a good thing. Of course, you have to get used to it. If you're used to working on regular watercolor paper, then this is something different, but it's quite easy to work on, so that's what I really love about this. And I also keep a piece of kitchen roll next to me to dab off my water brushes so that they will be clean. And here I'm testing out the black and the brown as well. I'm just going in and blending it with one of the water brushes. It's so easy to work with this. Now I'm testing how I could make a stem. And I'm going in with a green color and then a brown color and try and mix them together and see what happens. And here are the brush pens we're going to use: a pink, a black, a brown, a green, a bluish turquoise one, and the last one was a red. And here are the water brushes I'm going to use in different sizes: a flat one, as you see here, a pointy one, and this is also pointy but a bit larger. And I begin with making a sketch with my pink brush pen, and I just draw in, and since it's possible to remove the pencil or the brush lines with the water, then I don't have to be so anxious about getting everything right. So that's actually one nice thing about this as well. You can just draw directly on your paper without making a sketch first. And I'm going to use these lines later on when I'm going to do the actual painting, but I will show you later on. I'm just finishing the sketch. And now I go in with my water brush and I drag the color I've just made from my outline of the leaf. In this side of the painting, the flowers are going to be very light, so I'm not in need of a lot of color here. I just drag the color out from the lines and into the middle of the leaf of the flower or the petal. Here I'm going in with some red to define the middle of the flower, and then I blend in with my water brush. Then I continue to the next flower and drag the colors from the edges, and I go in with a little bit of red as well and blend that in with my water brush. And here I'm putting in some of the green color, because when you mix green and red you mute the red down a little bit. And I'm putting this in the middle of the flower to define it a little bit. And then I'm just putting in some more of the pink color because I want to enhance the middle. So you go back and forth with your brush pens and your water brush and blend things and put more paint on if you feel like it's in need of some more definition. And here I'm making a darker area with the red and the pink, and then I'm just blending it with the water brush. It's so easy. And I really believe that the effect you get is so beautiful. Then I continue with the next petal of a leaf or of a flower, and I blend the outline, drag in the color to the middle of the flower, as you can see here. Then I go into the middle with the red to define it a little bit, and with the pink as well, blending them, and then again with my water brush blending everything. And it really is as easy as it looks. So, and I continue with the next leaf. And here I'm going in with some green because I want there to be a little bit of shadow area here. And then I blend it with my water brush into the pink color, and adding a little bit of pink as well and blending it. The main colors of the flowers are the pink color. So I use the red and the green to make shadow areas and to make darker areas in the painting. And I'm just so excited that I found out about this, how my watercolor brushes are working on this kind of paper, because I did not find my brushes very useful on watercolor paper. It was like they were not able to blend as well, and yeah, it was just not working out very good, and I was not too pleased with the colors I had with my brushes. So but here on this kind of paper, you just have the opportunity or the possibility to blend the colors on the paper, and then you can make them much more beautiful and mute them down and make shadow areas as well. And if you don't like what you've just made, you can always remove some paint with your water brush. This is just amazing, and I'm going to do a lot of painting using this method with my brushes and on this Yupo paper. Normally you use Yupo paper with alcohol ink, and it gives quite a similar effect when you look at paintings made with alcohol ink. So, but I really love these brushes, because they have the very pointy tip, so you can make very small details with them as well. So it's actually quite more easy to work with than a brush, I believe. Yeah, as you can hear, I can't get my hands down. I just love this. Yeah. And now we continue. And I'm going to remove some color from this side, because as I told you before, it's going to be, the flowers are very light colored in this side of the painting, and it's also important to have light areas in your painting and dark areas. So I use my water brush to lift off paint. And if I lift off too much, I can always go in again with my brush pen. And as you can see to your right, I'm wiping off my water brush quite a lot on my kitchen towel. That's to keep the brush clean. And also sometimes if there's a little bit too much water on the pen, I can just dip it off in the kitchen towel. So it's a good idea to have one of those next to you. And I continue working on the flowers, adding some more shadow areas and lifting up some paint in some places. And then I begin on the vase. And here I drag out the outline of the vase into the vase. And I'm using the large water brush. And then I'm going in with some of the brown color, adding it in different places. There's some shadow area here as well. And as you can see on this pot, it's quite an old vase or jug, you could call it as well, with a lot of patina. So we have to get that forward in the painting as well. And here I go in with my red and put it on top of the brown in certain places, because there's rust on this jug. So, and in that way I can blend these two with my watercolor brush. Then I put in some of the turquoise color because I thought I would blend it all together, put in the colors first and then blend it with the water brush afterwards. And that's what I'm doing here. Now I'm just blending everything and smooth out edges, so we don't have any hard edges where we don't want them, at least. In some places we do want hard edges. I believe it's very nice to have them around the flowers. It gives a good effect. And I'm just blending everything. And it's already looking amazing in my opinion. I'm just really excited. The paper really helps you to get a very nice effect. So I'm putting in some more of the brown color just to darken it a little bit. And I'm going in with some black as well to help darken it in some areas of the painting. And then I blend. Can you see what the dark did? It just enhanced everything. So that's why it's quite important to have different areas of light and darks in your painting. Then I continue with the handle. I'm going in with the brown and some of the black as well, because this area is quite dark. And then I go in and blend it with my water brush. And please write down in the comments if you would like to have more tutorials where I paint on Yupo paper with brush pens, or perhaps we could also try out some regular watercolors. But leave me a comment down below so I can see if anybody could be interested in more videos about this. And here I'm using my black to make a shadow area on the table where the flowers are standing on. And I put first the black in and then I blend it with my water brush. And it gives such a nice effect when you put the water on and it flows on the paper in a certain way. So I really love that effect. You can also see it on the jug where there's some water drops, and I really love that effect as well. Then to the other side I'm going to do a little bit of this a cloth on the reference photo, so I'm painting that in, but it's not going to be a focal point, so I'm going to make it very blurry, and because we want all the attention on the jug and on the flowers. But I felt like it needed a little bit of something here as well, so that's why I put in a little bit of color here. And make sure to blend it quite a bit. And I'm just going to make some darker areas in the painting, and I'm using my black watercolor brush, and then I go in and blend it. And if I feel like it got a little bit too harsh in the black color, I can lift off some of the paint with the water brush. I just felt like it needed a little bit of definition, a little bit of shadow, or a little bit of darker areas. So, and now I take my turquoise brush, because I would like to have some of the color from the jug on the petals of the flower as well, because it's always a good idea that the colors are more than one place. So, and it's just going to be very, very light, but it just gives a nice effect in the painting if you have the colors in different places in your painting. So now I'm almost finished, but I just discovered that I needed a little bit of lifting off some of the darkness here, and a little bit of enhancing with the green brush, and a little bit of darkness down here, so I just go in with the green and make it a little bit darker, and then I go in with the black, not a lot, just around the edge, and then I blend the green and the black, because there's a shadow area here on the jug. And here I'm going in with some of the brown and some of the red as well, just to blend everything. And that was it for this tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed it, and that I will see you again in another video. Bye!